Hi, my name is Brooke, and I'm the founder of My LA Therapy, and I would like to talk today about how to create a meaningful life. I am going to go over three things that I think are really helpful and vital in that process. And the first is to take responsibility. It can be so easy to externalize. And what that means is to place the onus of our well being on that which is outside of us. Now, of course, our circumstances influence our feelings. That goes without saying. And at the same time, how we choose to face and react and process those things is within our control. And the more we can shift the onus of responsibility into our own into ourselves rather than blaming circumstances and other people and what's going wrong for the problems in our lives, the more we can begin to find a sense of transcendence, a sense of using our obstacles actually in service of our transformation and our as vehicles to self-discovery rather than impediments. So this is the old saying, the obstacle is the way. Once we adapt this new orientation to the world, all of the things in our lives that previously seemed like they were getting in the way actually become portals that open up deep treasure troves of wisdom and healing and growth. And so adopting a framework of accepting responsibility and looking at these seemingly external problems and seeing how we can reframe them as internal opportunities for growth and expansion is one of the most important ways we can find a greater sense of meaning and purpose and joy in our lives. The second is do what you are and do what matters. So for me, when I think about that saying, do what you are, it's like I am a therapist. Even before I was a therapist, I was a therapist. I was like trying to help all my friends with their problems in high school. I loved talking about deep existential questions and how to grow and how to transform. So being a therapist is who I am at my core. And so doing what I am for a profession is extremely meaningful because um, I don't have to pretend to be someone I'm not. I don't have to go to work and put on a different hat than I have on the rest of the time. So I think it's so important to find a profession that is reflective of who you are as a human being and a profession that you feel is meaningful and has an impact on the world and makes the world a better place. And that can look all sorts of different ways. It doesn't have to be a helping profession necessarily. There are so many ways we can make the world a better place by using the things that we are most passionate about in service of others. And finally, create deep relationships. There's a lot of studies that show that one of the main contributors to well-being and health and longevity are deep relationships, deep, meaningful connections socially. And I know for me personally, having friends that I trust and that challenge me and that I can be honest with about everything in my life is such an incredible source of meaning and joy for me. And so that may be really obvious, but a lot of times we have a lot of social connections, but there's not a ton of depth to them. And so it's really important if you find yourself in that category that you start to see how you can deepen your social connections. There's a theory called social penetration theory, and that is that people tend to meet us at the level of disclosure that we engage with them. So if one person offers kind of something a little deeper in the conversation, the other person tends to match that. And the more we offer depth and openness and vulnerability, the more the other person tends to reciprocate that. So if you are trying to create deeper relationships, one of the ways to do that is by taking a risk and throwing something out there that you might not ordinarily share and seeing what happens. And the truth is, if somebody doesn't accept you for who you are, if you open up and they kind of recoil, that's probably not the kind of friendship you want anyway. And most people are just so hungry for deeper, more honest connections that when we throw that stuff out there, I've personally been so surprised by how positively people respond, and how often they just go, oh God, it's so nice to know I'm not the only one who struggles, or the only one who's having that difficulty, or the only one that's having a hard time. I think that's, more and more becoming culturally normal for us to say, yeah, things aren't all right all the time. And that's, a wonderful evolution in our culture right now, that people are able to be more honest with the fact that life is hard, and that's part of it, and how we reckon with and approach the difficulties of life is such a central part of what makes us who we are, and makes us human. And sharing that those struggles together creates a great sense of meaning and connection in life. So those are just a few tips for how to create a meaningful life, and I will probably release some more very soon. Stay tuned. Oh, and we are mylatherapy.com.